Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Kaizouwar here. One of the most impossible things that I could ever hear in my young adult life is the fact that Marvel is joining up with Arc System Works to make a Marvel fighting game. And not just any Marvel fighting game, a 4v4 Marvel fighting game that just is the most insane thing I could literally ever think of. Like, no one would have ever expected Arxis of all people to get even close to Marvel's like IP. And seeing how Marvel has been getting a lot of recognition lately with, we have the Marvel vs. Capcom collection coming back, with the older games and stuff like that. And we have Marvel Rivals out, which is pretty huge itself. It only makes sense for Marvel to continue with this roll on, like movies. No one's even talking about the MCU movies right now. No one's even talking about all that nonsense right now. It's all about the games in regards to Marvel, and it's actually insane that we're getting all this new Marvel content in the form of video games, and like it kind of reach. I don't think there's anything else that's going to top this for me personally, because the Arc System Works getting close to Marvel's IP to make a fighting game, like a tag-based fighting game in the same vein of stuff like Dragon Ball Fighters, or a better comparison would be Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, well, just Marvel vs. Capcom in general, is actually pretty insane. And like it being 4v4 is new because there has not been a 4v4 fighting game ever. So not only this is Arc System Wars' first time with the Marvel IP. This is probably I think that, and I might be wrong, but I think this is the very first 4v4 fighting game like ever. And it just makes me wonder how far can we go with this whole team versus stuff before it starts breaking the game, right? Are we gonna get 5v5? I don't think that's even gonna happen. But anyway, already we have some pretty standout characters in the roster. We have Storm, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom. I don't know much about Star-Lord, but Star-Lord's here. We got Ghost Rider. We have Miss Marvel, which I don't know really jack about Miss Marvel, but we have her here. Obviously, Captain America and Iron Man, we definitely need those characters there. Stuff like that, right? So it's cool to see that we have basically these 8 characters to start with, because they kind of have to have 8 since it's 4v4. Definitely don't know what's going to happen next. Again, the game won't come out until 2026, so, from now on, we're going to be getting more news and stuff about the game, so we'll know who's getting in. I don't know what I want personally. I want Squirrel Girl in the game, because I've been a big fan of Squirrel Girl for years. And when she got into Marvel Rivals, that immediately made her more popular. Like, no one gave a damn about Squirrel Girl until she got into Marvel Rivals, except me. So I would like to see her, and considering Arc System Works already owns a property, that being BlazBlue, that has their own Squirrel Girl character in there. I don't see why they can't just put Squirrel Girl in there and make her a reference to Makoto from BlazBlue. I just don't see why they couldn't do that. That'd be the best thing I could ever want. But anyway, there's plenty of Marvel characters to pull from the well. You got the Fantastic Four, so many of the X-Men, so many of the Avengers. I would rather see more, like, less known superheroes than we've been seeing, and that's what I understand. They say that PlayStation blog that they want to pull from a well where characters who haven't been featured in a fighting game yet, which that means obviously the only best example I can really think of, like a very prominent fighting game based thing involving Marvel, was the stuff made by Capcom. Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, stuff like that. X-Men, Children of the Atom, that kind of stuff, right? So it would only make sense for them to, like, basically say, you know what, we want to try our own hand at Marvel. We want to, like, just dig in a well and see what kind of characters we can work with. And artists are definitely known for their oddball choices in regards to games and stuff like that. So I am very excited to see what they're going to do with specific characters. I mean, I know characters like, Hulk and Thor are going to be, like, super obvious. Like, we're definitely going to get them later. Duh. I just hope they don't, like, look at Ultimate Marvel for Capcom and just pick a bunch of those characters. I kind of want to be surprised. Which we've seen Star-Lord, right? We've seen Star-Lord. He was never, obviously, in the Marvel vs. Capcom games, which is pretty cool. So I'm definitely excited to see more. But yeah, a 4v4 fighting game is actually, like, crazy to me. And I want to see how well this is going to work in regards to, like, balancing and how big the roster is going to be on launch. Because, like, I mean, if you're going to do 4v4, you're going to have a big roster, right? Arc System Works has not been really known for their big rosters lately. They've kind of started really small and work on it, like, and it's been not the best, but they've always been like that. Not every Arc System Works game comes out with a huge roster, because they got, they're very detailed about their characters. They're very particular about how characters have to play or how they function, so that takes a lot of time, right? I get it, right? because like there's Guilty Gear Strive that launched with 15 characters when they came out. I cannot remember Dragon Ball FighterZ, but they had a very small roster when it came out, and that was a 3v3 fighting game. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle launched with 20 characters, and its base roster and made up to 53 by the time end of its lifespan. So they've been releasing characters, small rosters, stuff like that, which I don't know how big this game's going to be. I feel like with 4v4, you're going to have a lot of characters in it. Like, my only guess to make appease everyone would probably be 24. I feel like that would be that's like 6 groups of 4 characters, right? I feel like that would be the best way of getting this. I mean, higher I'm okay with, right? But I feel like 24 is probably the sweet spot because it's low enough, but it's not super high where the game would have a ton of DLC. And we already know Marvel. This game's gonna have Marvel Tōkon's gonna have a lot of DLC, which is obvious. It's gonna be a current day fighting game, cool, right? But I'm super excited. Like, it's just insane. Like, this is going to be so well for artists because they're gonna have there's a lot of money gonna come in from this. Like, this could be a lot of money coming for this. Marvel is huge, man. Marvel is huge. Hopefully, they've been willing to play ball recently. Disney's been letting Marvel play ball recently, right? Again, we get the Marvel vs. Capcom collection back, so we can finally play those classic games. Marvel Rivals is doing super well. I've never played Marvel Rivals personally, but I know how huge it is. People obviously, Marvel was already a big IP to begin with, and it being an actual good game, it just helps a lot more people get in there, right? It's plus with Overwatch 2 being deader than dishwater, it's we kind of need something to fill that void, and then it helps that Marvel Rivals again is a good game with cool eye-catching characters, cool character choices. So great, right? And this only makes it even better because I feel like after all these damn MCU movies, I feel like we need something else in regards to Marvel. I am so sick of it. I get it, MCU's huge, and it's not as big as it used to be. A lot of people kind of fall off, but it's never not going to be big. It's still, I mean, as long as Marvel's been around, it's going to be big, right? So it would make sense to try to capitalize on these games and capitalize on these big budget, well received games until eventually they get sick of it and go back to focusing more on the movies than ever before, right? So this is cool. Marvel games, awesome, right? But this also puts into perspective, okay, well, what about Marvel vs. Capcom? Okay, so my opinion on that is that okay, so MVCI didn't do too hot, right? And people have thought that was not going to, we're not going to get anything else MVC related for a while, right? Then the Marvel vs. Capcom collection comes out and everybody's like, whoa, no way, dude, we get this back. That means Marvel's willing to play ball. Disney's willing to play ball, and Marvel's willing to play ball. That means we can get a new MVC game, MVC 4, right? We don't know if that's actually going to happen anytime soon. I don't think obviously that's going to happen anytime soon. I'm gonna say give it several years, maybe 2030, early 2030s, around that time. I feel like we could get another Marvel vs. Capcom game. There'd be probably no point in releasing one now if they were able to, right? If Marvel went to Capcom, I mean, I feel like if they wanted to make a Marvel vs. Capcom game, they would have went to Capcom. They seem to be working nice with them now, so they probably would have done that. But they wanted specifically artists for this game, right? So that's all. We just gotta accept that. So, don't know. But hey, with that window open, we can finally get a Capcom vs. SNK game again. So there's that. So hey, it's a win-win on everybody. Everybody gets a new Marvel game. Then maybe we'll get something out of Capcom later. Who knows? But I'm super excited. I really wish I was recording my reaction, but I don't have the best setup for stuff like this, so I can't really record my reactions. But I'm so excited. Holy crap. 2026 is going to be the loudest year. It's actually not even just like that. It's just this is going to be the loudest year because now we're going to get character reveals and all that junk, and I cannot wait. My most wanted characters will be Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight. I don't even give a shit about Moon Knight's actual where Moon Knight comes from. I don't even care about that. I just like the character, and I like how bullshit he is. I want him in the game. I want him to play like Faust, where he just throws random shit on the screen and stuff like that.